It was cold and cherry and very magical, because when you poured water on it, it fizzed and grew into a soft drink so thick and cold you had to eat it with a spoon. What? Want a good deal? Deal?
Everybody loves a brim.
I didn't think a dryer could be this fast.
That song and keep us going.
And you can't make it through the night if you don't have some kind of light that's showing. Anyone in there?
Okay, hello everybody. What's going on? Getting some last minute stuff set up over here.
Ozone
Bear with
fluid
me.
vent.
Watch
The
that commercial for
hairdresser's
ozone.
hairspray in the pink and gray can.
I remember back when we just like shoot stuff in the atmosphere and destroy the environment. Those were the days. I kid. Had to get me some coffee. Alright, anyways, hello everybody. It is April 5th. First Contact Day. For those of you who don't know what First Contact Day is, and hi, hello, it's me. First Contact Day is the day in Star Trek canon that the Vulcans made first contact with Terrans here on the planet Earth. So yes, today is First Contact Day. There were a lot of announcements. Let me get rid of that. There were a lot of announcements about Star Trek stuff. Oh, I forgot to turn my sign on. Shoot. I always forget to turn my sign on lately. I'll be right back. I think this is the right one. Yeah. I like that little pop of color it gives. Anyways, hey Biscuit, what's going on? Welcome to First Contact Day. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So First Contact Day, in case you didn't know, this is the day in Star Trek lore where the Vulcans first land on Earth and make first contact with people here on Earth. The beginnings of the Federation happened on April 5th. Granted, April 5th, I think it's like 46 years from now. It's like 2067, is that right? Something like that? Am I going for a mullet? I'm not going for a mullet hairdo. The mullet hairdo is coming for me. That's what's happening. And actually, I think it's just the way it is. My wife actually says, Elizabeth said that it's now getting so long that it looks less mullety. It's just right now, got it. There's a lot going on right now. But I mean, like, is it a mullet if it's all super freaking long? Because it's just all super freaking long. It's just fluffy back here. So I don't really think I'm working mullet right now. I was working mullet early on in the pandemic. We were in total mullet mode. It was frustrating. It was really bad. It drove me nuts. Yeah, the headphones definitely give it a little bit of a mullet look. You know, I'm not really listening to any music today. I don't need any headphones. What do you think? Is this a better look? Go without the headphones? Hey. Who knows? I don't know. I look a little disheveled because I was out working in the yard. Today's been a day. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Dark. Thanks. Appreciate the mullet. It's not a mullet. Actually, the good news is, here's the really good news, y'all. I am 3 weeks away from my second vaccine, and then 2 weeks away from being fully vaccinated, which means I'm 5 weeks away from getting a haircut. Huzzah! Hooray! So yeah, my wife actually already made an appointment for her to get a haircut. So yeah, I am excited about the possibility of getting a haircut soon here. Yeah, really excited about the possibility of getting a haircut soon. Until then, I've been like, I can't really, pull this thing back, man. I've got a ponytail, y'all. I can rock a pony. I'm not gonna rock a high pony, but I can rock a pony. I can rock a low pony. If I put the headphones on, it'll kill the mullet vibe, so I might put the headphones back on. I don't know. Or no, the headphones make the mullet vibe worse. Is that right? Who cares? I'm too old to care about my hair. That's not true. You should always care about your appearance, folks, because your appearance is a reflection of yourself. Yeah, that's what they say at least. Anyway, since today was First Contact Day, I want to talk a little about Star Trek. But before I start talking about Star Trek... Oh! Actually, multiple things. So, because it's First Contact Day and everything, they are doing... let me see where I'm at. Boop. So they're doing a thing to where if you get on Twitter, and if you tweet with the hashtag Star Trek United Gives, Paramount's going to donate $1 to charity. So do it! You got nothing to lose here, folks. Paramount Plus will donate $1 to charity. All you got to do is tag Star Trek United Gives. Sure, you might be saying, oh, it's a marketing ploy. I don't care. I don't care, y'all. It's still cash going to charity. So do that. Star Trek United Gives. You can retweet my notification for coming online. It doesn't matter. Just do the tag. I'm going to have that tag on tweets going on throughout the evening. So do that. Waiting to get a clear bill of health before I get mine. Biscuit, you don't have to answer if it's too, personal, but is there, a specific health problem that, is getting in the way of that? I don't know. Because I thought they were, saying, get it. Because if you have health problems, you get it. Then you don't get COVID. And those health problems can make COVID worse for you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just curious. Again, if it's too personal, just say hey, back off. And I'll be like, oh, I'm back. I'm backing it up. Backing back here. In my Starfleet Academy shirt. Because Star Trek. Before I talk about all the Star Trek things that I saw today that made me happy, I do want to say, Caden's second birthday is this weekend. April 10th. 5 days away. What is that? That's Saturday, right? Wait. Why can't I remember what day that is? That is... Yeah, that's Saturday. Whew. I was like, Saturday. But then I was... Anyway. 2 years old, y'all. And our big thing was we were splurging. And we decided to get him a play house for the backyard. Because kid loves being outside. He would be outside all the time. And when he's outside, he doesn't want to come inside. He's just no, I'm going to stay out here. And he will cry and all of the things. You know, Biscuit, I forgot about all of the amputation and stuff that you had going on. Fair point. You wait for that clean bill of health. But once you get it, man, get that jab. Let's get out of this hellscape we've lived in for the past over a year. Anyway, going back to my original story here. Not to diminish Biscuit's health problems, because we've talked about this, Biscuit. I am empathetic, man. That's crazy. I just hope you're healthy and safe, and everybody is healthy and safe. Going back to the story about Caden's birthday. We splurged. I got him a playhouse for the backyard. But it's just me taking care of Caden during the day. On the weekends, you know, Elizabeth takes care of him, and I kind of have a thing. But this is a play set, and on their website, when you buy it, they say, takes 2 moderately skilled people 18 to 24 hours to build. So you're like, I can't build that by myself. And we can't build it with Caden running around. He would be constantly under our feet, falling and stuff, and grabbing hammers and drills and everything. So we splurged, and we got an assembly service. Biggest freaking nightmare. It's still not built. It's been sitting here for almost a month now. The number of times I've had to call this place and say, hey, come do the thing. Finally got an appointment for last Friday. Dude calls Friday, says, hey man, can I get out there Saturday? I'm stuck in Houston finishing a job. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Just come out here Saturday. And I get a message Saturday, hey, your technician's going to have to cancel and reschedule. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the actual fuck? So today, we decided we're just canceling the assembly. Give us our money back. We're canceling the assembly. We're not going to deal with this stuff anymore. We'll find somebody local to do it. Do you know how hard it is to find somebody local that's good at building playsets? Apparently it's harder than you think, because I did find one guy who came highly rated on all of these websites, and he's got his website, and that's, hey man, I build playscapes. Awesome. Great. And he actually returned my phone call. I called him this afternoon. He returned a phone call later on today. Can't get to it until mid-May. What? His birthday is Saturday. We bought this thing early. We bought it early so that he would have it for his birthday. I heard one place also message back, said they don't build the playset that we got. The company that, apparently they don't like the company that I got this playset from. They're not going to build it. Whatever, man. You do you. But that's what I got. So we're actually facing down the possibility of trying to build this playset by ourselves. Oh, God, guys. You don't even know. It doesn't look hard. There's just so much stuff that has to be done. The manual for building this thing is 100 pages long. The not the ingredient list, the parts list. The parts list is 10 pages long alone. And each one of those pages is like full of different this screw by 20. I'm crazy. Could go to Home Depot, but here's my thing, Biscuit. I've seen some horror stories with people who have just got handymen to come in and put it together and stuff. While they'll get it done, when they actually sit there and look at it, there'll be all these pictures of like, they didn't use a countersink, so like here's where they pre-drilled for a countersink. This guy couldn't get it to fit right, so he just drilled his own hole, and now you've got boards that are like offset and everything. I'd rather avoid that. So we've pretty much decided if we can't get somebody that's like somebody that can build a playset, it's like what their gig is. And apparently they're out there. It's just a matter of finding anybody who's available in a very short amount of time, because these people screwed us over sitting on their asses for over a month. But if we can't find somebody like that to do it, then we're going to have to do it because we care. I don't know. As for getting the yard done, maybe. We actually have somebody that we used to do that. We hired a guy to go. It was funny. We hired a guy to work on our front yard, because we have a very steep hill, so we're going to build a kind of retaining wall in there because we couldn't do anything with it. You can't mow down it. We're falling down. So we wanted to terrace it a little bit so we could plant stuff. We should have planted a little better. Anyways, we found a guy our neighbors used to do their lawn work. He said, yeah, I can do that for you. He ended up hiring a bunch of people that I think he just grabbed down, at Home Depot. You see him. There are people out there waiting to work. So he just grabbed people out there. And man, whenever I go out there and look at this stuff, these guys, they didn't speak a lot of English, but every time he would say that they were going to do something, they would kind of give me this eye and be like, no, we shouldn't do that. We need to do it another way. Like, they knew way more than this other guy. I would have been way better off just eliminating the middleman, going out there and be like, you're clearly really good at what you do. Come help me. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'll need this one thing. And why are there so many Allen wrenches? I have like 50 of them sitting right over here in my drawer. I've got like 50 Allen wrenches, all different sizes, just waiting. And every one's a little different. Guys, let's get a little consistency here. Is there any reason we need to have that many different sizes of Allen wrench? I don't know. Anyway, that's been all that's on my mind. That and the fact that Caden is not sleeping right now. Today has been a stressful day. I was on hold trying to get the assembly place for over half an hour. I ended up having to call the place that made the playscape and said, I ordered it from you. I paid for this through you. I am canceling this through you because they will not get anything done. So they worked and it was like, yeah, we've stopped using them. It's like, great. Good to know a month after I buy all our stuff and get it in here. Great. Why couldn't you have made that decision just a little bit earlier? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Star Trek stuff, as I was saying before, to say that Star Trek had a huge impact on my life is an understatement. Can't even begin to tell you how much of an impact that show has had on my life over the years. Growing up, watching the original series in reruns, and then Next Generation came out, and I got to watch that when I was a little kid. Like, what? It's awesome. I was really excited when I heard that there was going to be a Next Generation show, and I was very excited about that. Seen them all. The only one I haven't seen is Enterprise. And honestly, I think I missed a little bit of Voyager. Because if I remember correctly, Voyager at one point was just on syndication, and none of our local stations had it, so I couldn't see Voyager. So I missed a bunch of Voyager for a while there. I mean, what are you going to do? Same thing with Deep Space Nine. So there are parts that I've missed, and over the years I've kind of caught up mostly. I still have a little bit of Voyager to watch. I've also never really seen Enterprise because as much as I love the franchise, not a lot of love for Enterprise. Actually, if you even look at the Twitter feed for Star Trek, I don't really see any pictures from Enterprise on here. So, maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe they're moving past that. Moving past that. Oh man, Biscuit. The first Star Trek movie was one of the first movies that I remember seeing. My dad took me to see that. I think reluctantly. He made sure to tell me after. He's like, yeah, that was a good movie, but we disagree with them because they believe in evolution. We're like, okay, Dad. Yeah, that was my dad, y'all. We got along great. Anyway, but the first movie, I loved it. I thought it was great. It was Star Trek. Yeah, it was a little heady. Yeah, it was a little, at times you're like, what are they doing? Yeah, that's freaking Star Trek. What a great idea. What a great concept for a Star Trek story. Love the first movie. One of my earliest filmatic memories. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Biscuit, yeah, the temporal Cold War thing turned a lot of people off. I know that there's a place where I can get a list of the essential Enterprise episodes. I feel like I should go through that just to have a little bit of the completionist. It won't be complete, but I can at least say, like, I understand that storyline. You know? You love 2 through 5. I mean, obviously, Wrath of Khan's one of the best sci-fi movies made. If we're being honest here. Let's go. It's a classic. The Next Generation movies were hit or miss. I still have never seen Nemesis. And I don't think I'm missing anything. Aside from the obvious things that Nemesis bring to the table in terms of shows like Picard, which is on Paramount Plus now. And it's another thing. Oh yeah, the ending of the series where it's a holodeck. Really? I get what they were doing. I get where at some point the writer's room had to sit down and say, like, yeah, this will be great. We can have a callback to TNG. It'll be good. No. I haven't even seen it, but I heard it and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, Jazz, honestly, I was watching Enterprise and there was a scene where there was a shower scene with the Vulcan that just seemed so out of place to me. I get it, this was early in days of warp-capable Earth. This was pre-Federation, I believe. Yeah, pre-Federation. So there wasn't even really a Federation. So I get that maybe they were something like, oh no, Earth people would still be like, no, I really don't think they would. It just seemed like stupid fan service to me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll my eyes here. And I don't know, I just never was able to get invested. So I don't know. I need to do some research and see anything. But I agree, Jazz. I was a little bored. I like the concept. I like the idea of the ship. The ship seemed very more of our modern aesthetic right now. You know, close quarters in a ship. I mean, if you've been in a military ship, and I know some of you probably have, it's pretty tight quarters in there. And I like the kind of vibe that I had with that with those few episodes. I'm going to sneeze here in just a second. It's almost there. No, I think it's gone. There we go. Made it mostly for T'Pol, but she became a thirst trap. Exactly. That's exactly what I got out of it, Biscuit, is she was just there to be a, well, you put it correctly, a thirst trap. That's the best way to say it. I don't know. Someday I'll watch it. Because I do need to understand. They even bring up the temporal Cold War was a factor in the last season of Discovery. Small, but they reference it. You know, so I like to have a little bit of that knowledge about things. Just because that's me. That's the fandom of me. This is one of the few things where you could say that I like being a fan. Most things I'm like, that's cool. Like Star Trek or Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Star Trek, I like being a fan. I used to have one of the, I don't think I still have it. I may have gotten rid of it. But it had all of the technical designs, like blueprints for all the different ships. It explained all the different things. I had one of those books. It's like big old book, and I put it on my bookshelf, and I'm like, ha ha. And people would come over, and I'm sure they were like, but whatever. Jazzman, the last good female character being Janeway, actually could bring me to one of the things I wanted to talk about, because since it was First Contact Day, there was a Star Trek live stream. I couldn't watch any of it because I'm taking care of Caden, who has refused to nap, and we are really dealing with the consequences of his refusal to nap and adapting to this no-nap lifestyle. But one of the things they talked about was there's a show. Let me see, what channel do I have this on? Channel 8. Yeah. Star Trek Prodigy has Captain Janeway. What? So in case you didn't know, Star Trek Prodigy is an animated series being developed by Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon. I think it's supposed to come out later this year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 2021 at some point. My understanding of the plot is that it's basically a bunch of misfits who commandeer a ship but have no idea how to run a ship. And they pretty much, those are their adventures. And they start to come together as you do in a Star Trek show. And apparently, Captain Janeway is the emergency training hologram. So they activate this emergency training hologram, and Janeway's in there. So that's kind of exciting. Kate Mulgrew is back as Captain Janeway in Star Trek Prodigy, and I'm excited about the show. I mentioned before, I've never really gotten into Lower Decks, which is the animated show that's on currently in season 2. I don't know. I still struggle understanding why I don't really dig the Lower Decks, but that's a whole other conversation. Prodigy, I'm kind of cool with. Oh, Jazz. So Paramount Plus is the rebranded CBS All Access. So that's their streaming platform. So CBS All Access is rebranding as Paramount Plus. Kind of like Disney Plus. It's kind of like for a while, everything was whatever. After the iPhone, there was like iMac, iPotato Chip, iCamera. It's like Paramount Plus, HBO Max. It's like, all right, whatever. You can make the knacker with a toddler cocktail with juice. Here, have some juice. Don't mind the burn. It's what juice tastes like. So, Prodigy, anyway, what I was talking about, Prodigy. I'm excited about it for another reason, too. There are some writers that I really like. Shauna Benson. She's a screenwriter. Actually, it's interesting because several years back when I was spending some time in La La Land doing a bunch of shit, I went to a coffee shop a lot to meet a friend of mine, and he was working with Shauna Benson on some projects, on some pitching stuff. So I got to have coffee with her, and we hit it off. She's amazing. We've kind of lost touch over the years. I think we tried to get together at Austin Film Festival a couple of times. It just never was able to happen. Wonderful, wonderful. Her and her sister have actually been writing in some comics as well, and she got a gig to be one of the writers on Star Trek Prodigy. I love what they've been doing. And if they're involved with this, I'm excited about the writing. And I'm excited that I don't think it's going to be maybe quite as irreverent as Lower Decks, which I think is what turns me off of Lower Decks. But I don't know. Biscuit, that's why I have Paramount Plus. They have all the Star Trek on there. That is the only reason I have Paramount Plus. Now, granted, there have been a few other things that have popped up on Paramount Plus that I have watched. I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I have access. Primarily, though, it is Star Trek. And there are even some little episodes. They're not just the regular Star Trek episodes. They have these smaller episodes. Discovery had a deal where they would release smaller vignettes. They even released one before season 2. You should watch them. Watch those vignettes because there are some callbacks that are going to come into later seasons and some foreshadowing that you get by watching these. They're called short treks. So there's Discovery and there's short treks, which are tangentially related to Discovery itself. It's not vital watching, but it's a little bit of a deeper connection. And they're only like 5 to 15 minutes long. There's a great one about Spock first getting on the Enterprise. There's a great one. He gets stuck in a turbo. It's great. I mean, it's really, really good. If you like Star Trek, I think it's worth it to get Paramount Plus. Totally worth it. It does give a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, for sure. It does. I'm not sure they'll go quite that Marvel with it, but who knows? I don't know. And Ethereal, hello. I agree with you. I hope Prodigy is better than Lower Decks. I still feel like I need to watch Lower Deck just to give it a little more of a chance, but I'm just not sure. I value my time so much, y'all. If I'm not vibing with it, I just don't think I'm going to deal with it. So that's what I'm thinking right now. We'll see, though. I don't have an actual release date on Prodigy. The one thing about the Star Trek Day or First Contact Day, is there's not a lot of definitive release dates. There's a lot of 2021, 2022, where 25% of the way through 2021, so it's going to hit soon. You know it's going to hit soon, but we'll see. Lower Deck's trying to be Rick and Morty-ish, I thought. I kind of see that. I almost think that Lower Decks tried to be what I thought Orville was going to be. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't want to watch Orville at first because I really don't enjoy that kind of humor that much. I mean, in small doses. A little bit of Family Guy, great. I'll buy. But like American Dad and stuff, I'm just not into. And my perception of Orville was that that's what they were going to go through within kind of a Star Trek setting. I thought that that's kind of what Lower Decks was trying to do. And that's why I didn't vibe with it. Now, granted, Orville turned it around. I didn't expect to enjoy that show as much as I did. Still not great, but they were a legitimate Star Trek-ish show, and not just the schlocky comedy slapstick thing that I thought it was going to be. I don't know. Biscuit, it would be interesting if they would do something with Axanar. There's been so much buzz about Axanar, but I can't imagine them doing it. They're so protective of their IP. And I think that's a little bit detrimental. I think that may be... Okay, bear with me. I'm spitballing here. So how much is accurate? Fuck if I know. I feel like maybe the preciousness with which they preserve their IP control could be hampering new generations of Star Trek fans. Now, I say that, and there are plenty of people who are still discovering Star Trek as we speak. I just was following somebody earlier today who's like, I'm a 23-year-old Star Trek fanatic. Cool. Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. Let's bring it. But like things like that, with the prelude to Axanar, if they would work with him on it, because they've clearly done a lot of that, if they could sit down and be like, look, you guys have worked hard. We like what you're doing, but we need it to fit within our world and our plans for the brand. Let's work together and see if we can make it fit. That would be some great goodwill. Some amazing goodwill. And maybe stop hyper protecting that brand. Now, having said that, I think that there's real value in being super protective of a brand that is... How can I say... Can I say that it's openly progressive? It's a very progressive brand, so it's good for them to say like, hey, we want to make sure that whatever is associated with this content fits with what we want this to be and what it has been for the past 70 years? 60 years? When did Star Trek premiere? Help me out here, guys. You know the first original series episode? I don't know. See, the thing is, Biscuit, look at Axanar to me kind of like, compare Marvel and DC Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe was controlled by people who loved the source material. DC was people who wanted to make money off of the source material. Controversial thought here. I feel like Paramount has been trying to play off the making the money off their franchise instead of celebrating the people who love the franchise. And Axanar would be the Marvel of the Star Trek. They love it, and they've made something because they love what Star Trek is, and you can see the quality of that. Whereas Paramount has thought, all right, we need a Star Trek story. What's our budget, and how much can we make in the theater? Now, I do think that that is shifting. They have made some significant investments over the past few years to really kind of expand the Star Trek universe. Clearly, with everything they're doing between Prodigy, Lower Decks, they have a ton of plans for more series coming out. Not just Picard and Discovery, but even more stuff. I can't remember all of them right now, but the ones that are in line right now are obviously Prodigy, Discovery, Lower Decks, Picard, and there is a documentary coming out soon as well, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. The alien head at the end of the original series, right? So great. 1966. So there you go, guys. 60 years, give or take. 56 years. That's what we're talking about? Is my math right? No. Wait. 60, 19, 20. Somebody do the math for me. I don't have the energy. Angela, get out. Get out. How dare you come in here with that? How dare you come in here with that? I'm kidding. Stay here, Angela. Stay in here. Did not like the TV show, but grew up. TV show, let's be honest, there were problems with it. But it was still fun, you know? And it was ground freaking breaking at the time. And hi, Angela. Welcome to the stream with your Let's Start. I want to throw something at you. And if you legitimately don't know what Star Trek is, you and me, we need to have a discussion. Because I am wearing let me get over here, Starfleet Academy t-shirt. I don't know if you've noticed that. Yeah, and the entire thing is due to Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball is the entire reason that Star Trek existed. If it wasn't for her, it never would have happened. Crazy, right? Insane. Grew up on the movies in the 80s and loved Starfleet and the designs and fleets and stations, everything. It's great. It's like Starfleet is what I kind of wish the military really was. You know, like their primary goal was to support other people. Their secondary goal was like, okay, we got to have weapons because people don't like us, but we're going to do humanitarian missions. We are going to go out here and support these other people. A very like peaceful organization, but could still kick ass when they needed to. I don't know. Put her on the next crew. There you go, Angela. You want to do a Star Trek RPG? You can play in a role-playing game doing Star Trek with us. Maybe. If we ever get started up, we have a new crew. We'll see. Biscuit. Yes, the old school TV show. The original series of Star Trek. Spaceship captain in his quest to get all the alien STDs he can. He was a player, y'all. Don't hate the player. You don't even have to hate the game, I guess. But I mean, you know, love, free love, whatever. Heard of it. I know what it is. No idea what it's about. It's really just about people in the future. I don't know what to tell you. It's not like, you know, Star Wars has a very what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to get it right. Like Star Wars is a story within the cinematic universe, within all of the Star Wars stuff. Up until recently with Disney Plus, they're expanding. So, and we're not even talking about the books, the expanded universe, and all that stuff. But what people know of Star Wars, it's a story. Here, it's the story of Luke Skywalker going to destroy the Death Star. In a lot of ways, Star Wars is very, it's an adventure story. Star Trek is an aspirational story. Like Star Trek is like, we're in the future. We've eliminated poverty. We've eliminated hunger. What can we do now? It's not to say there's not problems, not to say that, people still get into conflict and everything. But what happens when we agree to take care of everybody? What can we accomplish? And let's see what happens. That's what Star Trek breaks down to at the end of the day. Transported the pee out of you. Pretty much Space UN, except better. But yeah, Space UN's a good way to look at it. Angela, you have never seen Star Wars? Y'all. You would love to see a grim, dark Star Trek biscuit. Isn't that DS9? Isn't that Deep Space Nine? Or do you want darker? Darker than DS9. Which, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I mean, I guess if you're not into sci-fi, you don't have to leave, Angela. I just find it amazing considering how ubiquitous Star Wars has been over the past several years with The Mandalorian. I mean, the child and Grogu and Baby Yoda and all that stuff, plus all of the new Star Wars movies. To have never seen Star Wars, that's like blows my mind a little bit. It's almost like saying, and I'm afraid to mention this, it's almost like saying you haven't seen any of the Marvel movies. If you say you haven't seen any of the Marvel movies, can we just like set aside a week to just sit down and just watch stuff? Never seen an episode of Sex and the City. That's fair. Fair point, Jazz. Fair point. Enterprise and Discovery are dark too. How does that compare to DS9? You've seen one Marvel movie, Angela. Which one have you seen? I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for the record, y'all. Love it. The Infinity War movies, those experiences to me are just burned into my brain. And when you can see on Twitter, every once in a while people will post like the audience reactions during the movie. That's legit. That is legit. So I'm trying to figure out how Enterprise and Discovery compare to DS9 in terms of tone. And I think that the real difference is, how can I put this? It's similar in tone, but the execution of DS9 versus the contemporary execution is very apparent. There's a surface level with DS9 in some places that I wish they would have gone deeper into, but I think that's because of when it was made. Whereas I feel, and I can't speak to Enterprise, I feel like Discovery goes deeper into some certain situations. This is me spitballing again, so. And for the record, Angela, Guardians of the Galaxy is a great movie for you to have seen. Great movie for you to have seen. I think, now, unless you're just not into the genre, if you're not into the genre, which, that's a whole other conversation. I hear a lot of people that say that I don't like sci-fi. I don't understand that, personally. It's when people say, I don't like romantic comedies, I don't understand that. I don't understand someone saying, I don't like X genre of something. Even worse when people say, like, I don't like movies. I don't understand that. You watch TV, but you don't like movies. I don't understand that. I don't think that that's... I think that that's more a symptom of you haven't found one of these things that you have liked. But the genre itself is so wide and all-encompassing, there's something out there for you. You just haven't experienced it. Like me really going crazy. Just recently watched Forrest Gump. Good on ya. Well done. Great movie. I'm not surprised. Forrest Gump is an older film. There are a lot of people right now who have never seen Forrest Gump and will never see Forrest Gump. And that's okay. I've never seen Citizen Kane. What the fuck? How have I never seen Citizen Kane? I love film. I would love to make film. My goal is to make film with the whatever life I have left. And I haven't seen Citizen Kane. So I feel that, and that's okay. You love the Hunger Games, you like dystopian. Oh, okay, see? So dystopian stuff is in a lot of ways very science fiction, very sci-fi. You may not like Star Trek because it's a little more aspirational than dysfunctional. Now, having said that, there's some really cool shit in what happens in Discovery. I don't know. You guys call me on this stuff if I'm off. I really want to hear what you think about, where and why Discovery may or may not be darker than DS9. I think that they're very similar. The execution, and I will say, if you have not seen Star Trek Discovery, I think season 1 is brilliant. Some people thought that it was a little slow early on. Maybe. I didn't feel that way. But the twist at the climax of season 1, dude, that was good. That was really, really good. If you saw it coming, I don't believe you. But it was a really good twist. Just watch Titanic. Just watch Dirty Dancing. Cyborg, the dystopian movie from the 80s. Nice. Your favorite are Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe films. Wow. Biscuit, you're digging deep on those. Those are like 50s level films. Those are some older ones for real. Angela, I think that you should jump into Iron Man. Just watch the first one. It's a ton of fun. And it kind of sets the stage for all the Marvel stuff. After that, if you enjoyed it, watch the next one. There are some, Thor. You're hit or miss with some Thor. But watch the first one. Because if you can make it through all of them, the payoff at the end of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4 with the Infinity War movies, so good. An amazing cinematic experience. You can still find videos. It might be some spoilers for you, but there are videos of people recording their friends who have seen it for the first time, and just they're like screaming and breaking down in tears and just amazing stuff. It's really well done stuff. Yes, it's highly produced and highly pop culture and highly, highly effective. If it's a DC film, just walk on by. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Although the new Suicide Squad movie looks pretty fun. Trailer came out, with King Shark and obviously Harley Quinn's back. It looks fun, so we'll see. Just try it. Iron Man is worth a try. I was skeptical when I first heard of Iron Man being a movie because at the time, Iron Man was not a major Marvel character. He was definitely a B-lister, C-lister kind of character in the Marvel comic universe. And then when I heard Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Iron Man, I was skeptical. And I went in, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It's an enjoyable movie. And if you like enjoyable movies, Marvel movies are fun. That's all there is to it. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. And while we're talking about whether Discovery was darker than DS9. Well, guess what? We have a new trailer for Discovery. Ha ha! Season 4 of Discovery just put out a trailer. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure out where they're going with it. There's basically, the big thing that they revealed is there's a gravitational anomaly that's about 5 parsecs in diameter. That's a lot. That hits the wrong place. It could destroy a lot. Now, what that leads to and everything, I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch that trailer. Did I even pull up the trailer? Do. She's Ready to Room with Will Wheaton. No, that's all season 1 stuff. Oh, here we go. No, I don't see the trailer listed. I don't know. Angela, I love Supergirl on CW. That show's freaking fun. Supergirl was great. I'm actually a little disappointed it's being canceled. This is the last season of Supergirl. I'm a little bummed about that, especially because it's being replaced by a Superman show. But I get it. They're doing really well. I'm glad they're not milking it. I think that Arrow milked it a little bit. I don't know if you probably haven't seen Arrow, but they stayed on a few seasons too long. So, Ethereal, you're liking Superman and Lois. I have been torn on whether I wanted to watch it, but you're enjoying it. It's recording. I've got it on DVR. I can watch it. So, get in there. But as far as Supergirl goes, love that show. Great freaking show. Main reason you want to see it is I like Doug Jones. Doug Jones is great in this. Like, is there a better character? Has there ever been a better character actor than Doug Jones? I don't know. I would say probably not. The way he's able to physically transform into characters, whether it's the Faun in Pan's Labyrinth, whether it's what's his name from Hellboy, Abe Sapien from Hellboy, he is just able to physically transform into these creatures. So freaking good. So good. Ethereal, I agree. When Guardians of the Galaxy was announced and Rocket Raccoon was in there, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. There is no way. And by God, it worked. Holy crap. Marvel just keeps pulling it off. Well freaking done, Marvel. And see, that goes back to our earlier discussion of why I wish and hope that Paramount will kind of loosen up their stranglehold on the IP to really enjoy and love what they have in terms of Star Trek. Because there's a lot. They don't have this huge multi-generational comic book background to build off of. They can find the best stories over the past 80 plus years and dig those up and be like, we're going to take this part because that worked really well, and this part, put them together. Hey, Star Trek doesn't have that. You're going to need to create it from scratch. But there are a lot of great writers out there that love this stuff. You can make it. You can do some good stuff. I believe it. Agamemnon, what's going on? Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Happy First Contact Day. Was Guardians of the Galaxy G or A-rated comic series? Couldn't tell you. Never read it. Never paid any attention. I just knew of it. And when they announced that there was going to be a raccoon, I was blown away. I was like, there's no way. I really should have brought up the trailer for Discovery. Let me see. Let's do a quick search here. Season 4 trailer. Boop. La 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 la. La 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 la. Did I misspell Discovery? I want to find the actual. Yeah, here we go. Can't even express y'all. Angela, I think you would like it too. That is a very let's deal with that another time. There's a lot in this show, and Discovery especially is really a progressive show that I think you get into. There's a lot of discussion about non-binary characters. One of the healthiest gay relationships I have seen in any media exist in Star Trek Discovery. I ship those two so much. They are freaking perfect together. And they have had a tumultuous relationship, but it's just amazing. I know, I'm preaching Star Trek to you, Angela. And you're probably like off, you're like, you're doing something else. And you're like, turn it off or anything like that. But I think it's a great, great show. And I'm really excited about season 4. I love that show so much. Agamemnon. Imagine if the spatial disturbance was a doorway to something like the Q Continuum realm. Which brings us to the other thing that was announced during First Contact Day, because it's First Contact Day. And again, for those of you late to the party, First Contact Day is in Star Trek canon the day that the Vulcans first land on Earth and make first contact with Earth. So, the other thing that they've talked about, which is super exciting, is that Q is going to be on the next season of Star Trek Picard. What? It is true. Q is going to be on the next version of Star Trek Picard. Now this one's not coming out until 2022. When in 2022? I don't know. But we're still like a year off from the next season of Picard. I don't know how you guys felt about the first season. I enjoyed it. How much did I enjoy it? Let me kind of like rewind a little bit and go through my brain. I enjoyed it. There were some parts I really enjoyed. Like 7 of 9 showing up in Picard. Love her. She was great in that. I hope she comes back in season 2. But there's an awesome bit. Let's actually jump in. I can pull up that trailer as well. Yes, I'm going to get dinged on Twitch. Whatever. Let me pull that up real quick. Season 2. And it's not even a trailer. It's a teaser, y'all. There's no footage from season 2 yet. There's just a lot of voiceover stuff. Let's see here. It's true.
Here's everything you might have.
Boop. Trial never ends, y'all. Q's gonna be back. John Delancey will be back reprising the role of Q. What? I'm curious what they're gonna do with this. Because, I mean, are they gonna de-age John Delancey? No. Well, they did. Well, they did some work with Data, so who knows? Maybe something about that. Sir Patrick is part vampire, bathes in blood. He may. Who knows? I don't know. He's starting to show a little bit. It blows me away that he was like 40 something when Next Generation started. He's still going strong, man. The trial never ends. Man, that's got to be a t-shirt. Paramount, get on that one. That's a t-shirt. Sad about Data and Hugh. Yeah, I agree. Especially potential spoilers. If you haven't seen season 1 of Picard, I apologize if there's any potential spoilers, but I didn't see what was happening to Hugh actually happening to Hugh. I loved where he ended up in Picard at the beginning of Picard. I thought that was great. Thought that was freaking great for Hugh. I was really sad to see how he really ended up. That. So, yeah. Dude got to see him in Excalibur. Also, Dune. Let's not forget Patrick Stewart was in Dune. Amazing stuff. My big thing, and here's the deal with me and Picard. How old is Patrick Stewart now? He's 70. Blah, blah, blah. Let's look it up. See how old Patrick Stewart is right now. Patrick Stewart age. My phone's almost dead, so it's going to die on me any second now. He's 80. Oh, good God. Patrick Stewart is 80 years old. I'm afraid. If I'm being honest, y'all, I am afraid. I love the man. Like, he is so freaking iconic to me. And I'm just afraid. So when they say 2022, I'm like, man, I sure hope so. Him and oh shit, Magneto. Help me out, y'all. I'm really horrible with names. Ian McKellen. Thank you, Agamemnon. He and Ian McKellen are very, very good friends, and if you see them on socials or anything like that, they just love having a good time together. They're amazing friends. They're both getting up there in age. I'm going to be so sad. But when I hear 2022, I'm like, I hope you're able to finish this in a way that is satisfactory to everyone. It's also interesting because the way season 1 of Picard ended, I don't want to do too many spoilers in case you haven't seen season 1. I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to work. And with Q coming in, how's Q going to feel about that? There are so many things. Betty's due for another quickening. Yeah, seems that way, right? Jeez. Like, how old is Betty White? She's older, right? You guys are going to be faster than I am because I'm doing this on my phone. Betty White. She is 99, y'all. Betty White is 99 years old. You are so close, Agamemnon, at 100. So close. She is 99 years old. How? She's still rocking it, too, man. She is rocking it. She's doing great. But you're right. There's another quickening. Someone's got to keep her going. Better not be Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen. Just, no. There are a lot of other people that you can go. That's horrible to say. I don't wish that on anybody. That's horrible. Disregard that. Yeah, 99. That blows me away. So, yeah. Long story short, there's a ton of news out with Star Trek First Contact Day that makes me very happy. We've talked about Prodigy and my friend acquaintance Shauna, who's writing on it. I'm excited about it. Janeway is going to be on Star Trek Prodigy, so that's exciting. Kirk Douglas was 103 and he passed last year. It's amazing how much longer you can live when you're able to live a good life, right? That's legit. That's like a really legit thing. Like when you don't have to worry about paying your bills or getting health care or anything like that, you live a long time. You know, our mortality rate is really skewed one direction because of our poverty rate. Our poverty rate directly affects our mortality rate. But it's amazing how much longer you can live. And I don't think that's a political statement. That's like our poverty rate directly affects our mortality rate. So when you don't have to worry about that, it's amazing. It is amazing, the difference as far as longevity and everything you can do. Not just longevity, not just living, but having a great quality of life later in life. Man, this is why so many people fight really hard for things like universal health care. And that's the ideals of Star Trek. Let's be honest. That's what it is. What else I want to talk about with Star Trek Day? Because I had a little bit more to talk about with Star Trek Day. Oh, I forgot to mention, in case you just joined us and you forgot, right now, because it is First Contact Day, if you go on Twitter and you tweet with the hashtag Star Trek United Gives, they're going to give $1 to some good causes. So do that. If you check on my Twitter, retweet my stuff. Just pop in and be like, retweet, and you'll tag and they'll donate $1. What do you got to lose? And when I'm looking at the number of retweets and stuff, there's not enough, y'all. There's not enough. I haven't checked the actual hashtag, but come on, man. Let's get some more hashtags in there. That's what I'd like to see. So take a second, go on to Twitter, Star Trek United Gives, do the thing. $1. Thoughts on a mostly alien race Star Trek show. Love to see more Andorian. That is mostly from Jeffrey. I think it'd be great. Yeah, I would love to. I'm shocked that there's not a Klingon series, honestly. I'm honestly not as interested in a Klingon show as I would be an Andorian show, if I'm being honest, just because Klingons have been just beat to death. But Andorians, one of the founding races of the Federation. Yeah, let's freaking do that. Bring that out, man. Let's see what's going on from the Andorian side of things. They've got a super interesting civilization as far as lore. And they have some real societal problems. It would be an amazing thing to explore in a TV show. You know, they have a really difficult reproductive cycle, so they are struggling as a society to maintain numbers to have a healthy society. And that's very interesting to me. How could you play that into a story? I would love it. I think an Andorian show would be great. I would be way more in to seeing an Andorian show than a Klingon show. And that goes back to the earlier discussion where I think, and I'm afraid, that that's not the decision that Paramount would make, because Paramount, again, isn't looking at giving reins of this to people who love the franchise as much as they're looking to make money off of the franchise. Again, I hope that's changing. They're doing a lot of great stuff with expanding the Star Trek universe. I feel like the executives would say, like, give them more Klingons. And the Star Trek fans would be like, no, actually, we'd really love to see Andorians. Can we see them? And I think that would make a better show. That's kind of like the difference between Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision. Everyone assumes Falcon Winter Soldier is what a Marvel fan's going to want to watch. And while it's a good show, so far, halfway through its run, I think it pales a little bit in comparison to WandaVision, which on paper sounds ludicrous. Right? So I don't know. That's just where I want to go. That's where I want to go with that. Or that's how I feel. I give a lot of opinions. Are my opinions valid? My phone just died. Damn it, I was going to look something up. It's dead. Here, I'll look something up real quick. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Just want to see more Jeffrey Combs, right? Who doesn't, right? And again, I haven't seen Enterprise, but I'm aware that Jeffrey Combs is kind of like the Andorian kind of guy, right? Hey, what's going on, Try? It has been ages. How's it going, friend? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Life Force is a great space vampire movie. Didn't suck. True story. Life Force was... See what I did there? I didn't even mean to do that. Space vampire movie didn't suck. Life Force was fun. It was fun. How did it make me feel? I don't know. It was good. Well, glad you showed up, Try. Been ages. I've just started streaming again like 2 months ago. Yeah, something like that. Not long at all. Trying to get back in the swing of making things again. So yeah. Wait, Life Force had Picard? Hold up. Wait. Hold the fucking phone. Am I forgetting that? Who was he in Life Force? Life Force Patrick Stewart. IMDb. Which one was he? Holy shit, he was. He was in that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I have a tendency to like see a movie, take it in, and then just be like, that's locked away. You know. How's everything on my end, Try? It is good. I mean, we're on the hopefully nearing the end of a pandemic. I now have a 2-year-old son. Well, he'll be 2 Saturday. He turns 2 Saturday. He has spent over half of his life locked down in a pandemic, which is concerning. But aside from that, he's a wonderful little boy. He has very little chill right now, but he's also 2. So I'm saying it's because you're 2. I get you have no chill right now, but holy shit, kid, you need to learn some chill. I get that is a drop of milk on the floor, but it's okay. I'll clean it up in 10 seconds. Anyway. He's a wonderful little guy, though. He is the best thing that ever could have happened in my life. Hands down. Hands freaking down. There's absolutely nothing like coming downstairs in the morning. He's already up with Elizabeth. I come downstairs. I hear him yell "Daddy" as I'm coming downstairs, and I come over and he just runs over and gives me a hug every freaking morning. Best thing in the world. I gave up a lot, if I'm being honest, but I got so much back. So much back. More than ever. Almost tearing up thinking about it. Anyways. Oh, there's something else I should point out that I learned on First Contact Day. Also interesting. Original series, Nichelle Nichols. Lieutenant Uhura. Not Captain Uhura. Don't think she ever made Captain, but Lieutenant Uhura. Which is sad. She was in the command track. She wore red. Or did she? Wonder what the highest rank she ever achieved was. I don't know off the top of my head. Interesting. Let me respond to this. Agamemnon. Interesting to see how children brought up without knowing the pre-pandemic world will go forward post-pandemic. Absolutely. It's really interesting to me because when I moved here, whenever we got into this house, this neighborhood was starting to turn trendy. There weren't a lot of kids here. Right now, it is amazing how many families are here. There are so many kids between the ages of 1 and 3 within like a 6-block radius of us. It's ridiculous. Some consistent things that I'm hearing and seeing in my observations, it's very interesting. Kids that have siblings are doing better at this age. Kids at this age. Older kids, there's a whole other psychological deal that we're having to deal with the isolation and loss of friends and blah, blah, blah. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about toddlers and just like pre-K. These kids that have siblings, they seem to be doing okay because they interact. Kids like ours that are only child situations, they really are weird around other people. Especially kids. You know, Caden has spent every day of his life with me and Elizabeth. And for over half of it, that's it. So we got into a pod with Amanda, whose daughter is, good Lord, how old is she now? Because she's over 3 at this point. He would freak out when he saw her. And we really wanted them to hang out so he'd get with other kids, but he just would freak out. And if we go to a park, because we started trying to go to parks more, and we avoid it if there's a bunch of people, but if there's like one person there, we'll go to the other side of the playground, and we'll try to play over there. But if this little kid sees him, and it's clearly they have not been quite as isolated, whether you want to put, for whatever reason, they have not been as isolated, and they come over, Caden will freak out, and he will like run over. That's concerning. Is he young enough to get over that? Yes, absolutely. He will learn these skills. I think there'll always be a certain level of caution, though. I hope I'm wrong. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, a little bit of caution is good. I just hope it doesn't turn into something that is hard for him to overcome. And I think there are a lot of kids. I've seriously been talking to a lot of people who have smaller kids, and especially in this age, like a little bit younger, they still don't quite get it. We've got a neighbor whose son is 18 months old. He'll be coming out of the pandemic as he's getting into this really interesting age he's coming into. He seems fine, and they're pretty social, so they're around a bunch. He's going to seem fine. But this gap, this 1 to 2 year thing where you've spent a year of this really important developmental age locked in a house, not allowed to go near other people, not allowed to go near other kids, everybody's shy. Everyone who has had that has said they're shy. And we have a bunch of our friends and they're sending their kids to daycare. And we're at the point now where it's like, we really need to send Caden out. I wish that there was a vaccine yet, and it won't be until 2022 until you get a vaccine for kids this young. But we're going to get our second shot in a few weeks. We're going to be relatively protected. It sounds like kids, unless there's going to be a variant that pops up that affects that, it sounds like kids are still a little less likely to have serious illness from things. Not be worth it. Not be worth it. Okay. I said my piece. My piece has been said. Take that as you will. But I do think that there's going to be a lot of discussion over the next several years about the pandemic kids. Or they call them COVID kids. So this whole generation is called COVID kids, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens with that. I'm going to go back to a First Contact Day thing here real quick, because Nichelle Nichols on Paramount Plus, if you haven't got Paramount Plus and you're a fan of Star Trek, you should probably get it. COVID Kids, so catchy and so sad that it's so catchy, right? It sounds like a great mark. COVID Kids. No, that sucks. It straight up sucks. Anyways, Nichelle Nichols, they've made a documentary about her that's going to be on Paramount Plus, June 3rd. There's a lot about her. You know, she was a black actor on Star Trek. She had the first interracial kiss on television with William Shatner. That was a big deal. There were some southern stations that were mad. Stations in the South were mad about this. I mean, they were really breaking some ground with Nichelle Nichols. COVID. Hey! Thanks for the sub. That's funny. What a great gift sub. Just remember hear him giggling and talking to Shadow in the corner. Don't screw around and call it. Yeah, no kidding. Dude, he's got the monitor up there, so we've got an internet monitor and we've got an iPad that we watch it on, so it stays next to the TV, so it's always got the night vision. Every time I go up there, I see that thing, and I swear to God, I have to look. I'm like, okay, anything evil? Okay, we're good. I will triple check for evil in that thing. Anyway, Nichelle Nichols, interestingly enough, at the time when Star Trek was out, NASA was not accepting women into the space program. And as far as blacks and people of color, that was a non-issue as well. They didn't think that they had the skill set. And Nichelle Nichols apparently turned into a massive force to really push for equality within the space program in the United States. Not just people of color, but women as well. So they've got a documentary coming out June 3rd talking about Nichelle Nichols and what she did to help open up the space program to more people. And she had a great quote at the end of the trailer for this. I'll let her say it instead of me trying to say it. Where is this it? Yeah, that's it. Okay.
They let me in the door.
Here we go.
All I can do is think of Nichelle Nichols.
Listen to this.
As a force of nature.
I said, if they let me in the door, I will open it so wide they will see the world.
I mean, come on. If they let me in the door, I will open it so wide they will see the world. And she apparently changed the world. I knew that she was significant and she played a big role in, well, really a lot of conversations in terms of race and women in society and television entertainment. I didn't realize that she quite had that effect within her space program and everything that she did. I watched the hell out of that on June 3rd. So if you're a fan of the original series, a fan of Star Trek, you probably know that Nichelle Nichols had a huge impact. Watch the documentary. Again, get Paramount Plus. If you're a fan of Star Trek, get Paramount Plus. Give them the love. If you want to see more good Star Trek stuff, this is how you do it, man. As much as I talk about, I wish Paramount would give the franchise to people who love it, as opposed to just trying to make a buck out of it. At the end of the day, I'll still say it, greed's a little bit good. Maybe not to the point where you've got $150 billion. Then you're crazy. That's like supervillain. You do not need $150 billion. If you're making $150 billion, if you're sitting on that much, you need to give the people working for you a raise. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around that. Anyway. Try. You have Paramount Plus, but they hurt you. Why? Why did they hurt you? Really, they're missing episodes of Jack. I wonder why. Or is it kind of like, so, again, going back to kids, because that is my life right now. We watch Bluey. Caden freaking loves Bluey. We love Bluey. Season 2, they'll like release 3 episodes every week, but it's not like 1, 2, 3. It's like they're going to go through 1 through 20, and then they'll skip 2, and they'll go through like 23 through 31, and they'll skip 3. So when they release them, they're kind of scattered around. Unless there's something like that I don't understand why they would do that. I don't know. What are the exact number of people became engineers because of James Doohan? Right, Biscuit? Right? Seriously. Such a huge cultural impact. Ugh. Hey, Bernsey, what's going on? We had a good Easter. Caden took to finding eggs like crazy. I had to hide them 3 times. Then he got bored, and I had to find the last few. But still, I hid them 3 times. So whatever. Copyright stuff, songs, movies, clips aren't... Yeah, that's fair. Seems legit. You know, I didn't actually get a picture of it because this was back before cameras were so ubiquitous. But back in the day, I don't think I ever got it signed either. Back in the day, when I was working at Blockbuster Video, James Doohan made an appearance at our Blockbuster that I was at. My friend got to wear a uniform and dressed up as an officer from like the motion picture stuff and everything like that. So I got to meet James Doohan. Super nice guy. And this was like ages ago, but I still remember that. I still remember my friend holding a balloon wearing a Star Trek uniform, and I was a little bit like, why am I so tall? But it was pretty cool, yeah. James Doohan was a super nice guy. Apparently pretty badass. True story. Oh, try that is frustrating. Finish season 1 and you can't get the first episodes. What? Guys, splurge for the rights. Paramount. Pay the bills, man. Pay the bills. How excited Aaron Douglas was when he got the part of Chief Tyrrell in Battlestar Galactica, when his character will be building a fighter, which is an engineering action. I mean, honestly, Battlestar Galactica was another show. Clearly, I was a sci-fi geek growing up. Like, when I was a little kid, I had like a Battlestar Galactica jacket patch. I would give anything to find that thing right now. I also had the toys, like the original Viper that would like, You press a button and shoot out, and I had the Cylon Raiders. I would give anything if I still had those right now, y'all. Because, so anyway, if I was anybody and somebody said, hey, we want you to be any character in something Battlestar Galactica, yes, I could die. I could, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, James Doohan. He was World War II. He was in the big invasion. He was a big times guy. Oh, I didn't realize that, Burnsy. I didn't realize they were both born in the same area. That's cool. I wish I had gone into engineering because of Star Trek. I was a little too naive to understand the connection, honestly. If I'm being realistic, I was too naive to understand the connection at the time. But what? 3 times combo? What? It's the first one I've gotten one of those, y'all. Would I do a Battlestar OG story podcast? Would I do an OG Battlestar podcast? And hi, Steven. What's going on? You want to come down and help us build a playscape? You missed that part of the story earlier, by the way. Yeah, I'll tell that story again in a minute. But would I do an... Here's the thing. I love the original Battlestar Galactica. I thought it was great. I was also a kid. And I loved it. I told my own stories. I like those better. I would run around diving behind the couches with my blasters, shooting Cylons and stuff. I told my own stories, y'all. The original Battlestar Galactica, as much as I love it, you know, had some issues. And let's not even talk about Battlestar Galactica 1984. That doesn't exist for me. It just doesn't. Won't even... Oh, Burnsy, I heard about that story. Yeah. Heard about that story about James Doohan. Like, he got the letter from that fan and she came to the conventions. And that was freaking amazing. Yeah. You get your second vax tomorrow. Congratulations, Steven. We don't get ours for another 3 weeks. It hasn't actually been scheduled yet, but we got our first shot last week. So, you know, we're still a little ways out. But the original part of me talking about that. I'll tell you who doesn't want a flying bike. Me. I don't want a flying bike. Now, you could argue that maybe the finale of the more recent Battlestar Galactica could have maybe gained something from being a contemporary Earth. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, Burnsy. James Doohan was a great guy. Sad that one of the least great guys from that original show is actually William Shatner. I guess he's not a bad guy, but he's just not as awesome as like a George Takei or Nichelle Nichols or Walter Koenig, James Doohan, William Shatner. There are talks of another Battlestar reboot. Apparently, they are working with the crew from the more recent Battlestar Galactica to make sure that it's kind of like, it's not going to be a reboot as much as kind of like something else, I guess, is what I'm getting, which they tried to do with Caprica, which kind of failed. It was alright. You did include the son of Dick Van Dyke. Oh, so disappointing when 84 came out and I saw it and it's like, this is bad. I was a kid at the time, but even then I was like, this is bad. Steve, when I was saying earlier, the playscape that we got Caden for his birthday, which is Saturday, was supposed to be built by an assembly team last week. And they pushed it back again. We've been sitting on this thing for about a month now. So I finally canceled the assembly service, and now we're trying to find somebody local to do it. And if I can't, guess what I'm going to be doing this weekend? They say it takes 2 to 3 people 18 to 24 hours to build this thing. So it'll take me a month. Because I'm not that skilled. Whatever. There's a short version. We may have Elizabeth's brother Will show up Friday night to help. He's getting his second dose soon. It's like we're so close, y'all. We're so freaking close. Wait, the series Dark Matter is set in the Battlestar Galactica universe? Shut your face, Burnsy. That's a... No. Hold up. I'm looking it up. So sorry, you're going to watch me. Set in the Battlestar Galactica universe. I have seen Dark Matter. But how do we know this is set in the Battlestar Galactica universe? Which, did they ever get a second season of that? It was just one season, right? Oh no, they did. Wait a minute. Have I only seen... Hold up. I have apparently missed 2 seasons of this show. Huh, alright. Let's see. They got 3 seasons. Your Walter Koenig performance is Bester. Oh yeah, Walter Koenig was in Star Trek as well. Well, I meant the more recent Star Trek. You know what I mean. I've been doing this a long time. Yes, but Steven, remember it takes 2 weeks for that final shot to really kick in. So you're still only considered partially vaccinated until 2 weeks. But you may be getting a contact from us. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see. We've got an air mattress. Maybe Will can sleep on the couch. He can sleep, or we have nuggets. We have nuggets for Caden. You can sleep on those. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're still trying to figure out how to handle all this stuff with people and trying to get this thing built for his birthday. But you never know. I might be giving you a little call. In case you guys doesn't know, Steven and I are related. Let's see. So Dark Matter was a BSG showrunner. He's a producer. But does that mean it's in the BSG universe? Oh, holy crap. I'm getting all my... Sorry, Biscuit. I'm getting all my shows right up. So Walter Koenig was on Babylon 5. Absolutely right. I apologize for that. But he was also Section 13 in later episodes of Star Trek. Right? I'm not getting that wrong, am I? Bum, ba, bum. Or was it a bit of the Star Loss? Am I getting my genres, or not my genres, my shows confused? Babylon 5, he was a Psychor. Why was I placing him in later episodes of Star Trek? Who was the not even oh my god. It's not even section 13, it's section 31. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Who was the person that was in section 31 on DS9? Luther Sloan. Is that who I'm thinking about? Yeah, maybe so. Alright. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh, man, we've been talking so much about Star Wars and Star Trek and Babylon 5 and Life Force and boo. Bam. You can help the final week and take full credit. I like the way you think. Yes. Dark Matter rewatch on Orville Nation YouTube channel. Joe's been showing up. Oh, nice. Dark Matter was in the BSG universe, but not necessarily at the same time. Okay, so obviously, because it sounds like it's set the future from our time, so BSG was obviously past in our time. He's saying that in his mind, I'm guessing that's not an official like thing. Like the Battlestar Galactica folks are now like, oh yeah, this is in the future. I don't know. You're absolutely right, guys. It's been so long since I've watched Babylon 5. I totally forgot that he was a Psychor guy. Steven, I'm curious if you've ever even heard of Babylon 5. But I could have swore he was Section 31 as well. Like Walter Koenig did something Section 31. I'm gonna look it up again here. I'm trying to look up to see if I'm not crazy. It must be crazy. Set in the Stargate universe. Oh, interesting. Do you guys know I actually made a the first thing I ever shot as far as film was a Battlestar Galactica fan film for the reboot, not the old one in the 1970s. Do I even have it? I don't know. I might even have it on this system. Hold on a second. I'm not sure I'll show it to you because it's definitely like super low budget. I think I made the thing for a borrowed camera I didn't know how to use. It doesn't look like I have it on here. Or is that? No. I'm just looking on an external drive I've got hooked up to see if it's... Nope. Nope. It's on another drive. So yeah, I did a... there was a Sci-Fi at the time had a contest to make a fan film for Battlestar Galactica. So I wrote a little piece. We cast it. We shot it. The first thing I ever shot was a fan film for Battlestar Galactica. Didn't suck. You could tell it was the first thing I ever wrote and shot. It wasn't the first thing I wrote, but it's the first thing I wrote and shot. So you could tell. You know. Oh yeah, Burnsy. Really sad about Mira Furlan from Babylon 5. I'm trying to think if before I jump off, there's anything else about First Contact Day that I'm forgetting. Other than the fact that if you're on Twitter, tweet with hashtag Star Trek United gives and Paramount Plus will donate to charity. What do you have to lose? It's not your money. You just put it on Twitter. And who doesn't want to spread the joy of Star Trek to the world? Because I'm still wearing my Starfleet Academy shirt. Hey. Best thing ever, y'all. Yeah, who's left? I don't even know. All right. Well, last thing I want to talk about, obviously, because there's a lot of Marvel stuff, we're going to at least talk about the fact that there are a bunch of trailers. Loki looks fun, y'all. Loki looks freaking fun. Loki time traveling. And what's great is that they put the justification for a Loki TV show in the Infinity War movies. I love it. Freaking love it. Love it. Jeff Conway. Yeah, I mean, Bruce Boxleitner's still around. Who's left? Babylon 5. Yeah, Jerry Doyle. That's sad to me. Anyway. But going back to the Marvel thing, Loki looks freaking great. It's coming when is that? June 11th. Which isn't that far away. We have 3 more episodes of Falcon Winter Soldier. That puts us in May. So we're just like a few weeks away. I wish that they had timed it so that as soon as one was over and next one would start. But, production. It happens. But Loki looks freaking great. And it would also be great if there's a quick little scene in the trailer for Loki. It looks like he's sitting there with Black Widow, with Natasha. Maybe right before she jumps off. Maybe around then. Could this be a cool way, or some way, to get Natasha back in the MCU? Because I love her. And I want Black Widow back. Oh, Biscuit, you just threw up a Time Bandits reference. Well frickin' done. And yes, Steven, it's a TV show. It's on Disney Plus. Starting, I don't know how many episodes. Dark, do you know how many episodes are in there? Oh man, isn't it amazing to you? It's amazing to me that the kid from Lost in Space was on Babylon 5. Anyway, don't know how many episodes yet. Okay, so Steven, yeah, it's going to be on Disney Plus, series on Disney Plus. It looks great. And I'm not regretting getting Disney Plus at all. Not just for the fact that I can get Bluey for Caden to watch, but all the shows so far have been great. Falcon Winter Soldier has been my least favorite, and I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. Still enjoying the hell out of it. Words are hard, y'all. I gotta do this shit. Biscuit, that would be amazing. If they did something, I mean, they're not. They're not going to pull a Time Bandits reference, but that would be freaking amazing. God, it's so good. The trailer looks great. If you haven't seen the trailer, check it out. I'm not going to play it. I'm already dinged on copyright for playing some trailers, so I'm not going to get too many more dings in this entire thing. But the trailer looks freaking great. You know what else looks great? Is the trailer for Black Widow.
You don't know everything.
Oh, wrong one.
I've lived a lot of lives.
Shabam. Here, instead, let's do that. So yeah, I'm going to get dinged here.
Before I got this family.
The Black Widow movie
Mistakes.
looks
Choose.
awesome.
Becoming what the world wants you to be.
Awesome. Oh, I didn't see that. Claudia Christian and The Rookie with Nathan Fillion. Didn't know she's in that. Yeah, Steven, I was skeptical about Disney Plus as well, but my God, I can't even begin. It's all great. I would consider paying extra to watch Black Widow here, guys.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our rules.
It wasn't real.
Like, I haven't paid for Raya in the Last Dragon, although I think it would be fun. I'd pay for this one. Still not going to see it in the theater because pandemic. If you've seen the ball field the Texas Rangers played in, yeah, that's it.
Such a mom. One thing's for sure. I'm done running past.
Dude, that looks so great. It looks so freaking great. I will watch the hell out of that. This one is a movie, Steven. This is going to be a movie. It's going to be on Premiere Access. So it's going to be released in the theaters and on Disney Plus the same day. $30 to watch it on Disney Plus. So it's more than if you go to a movie, but then you'd have to be in a movie theater with people coughing. Hell no. Hell no. So yeah, definitely I would pay extra to see that one. Because that looks ridiculous. And I love Black Widow. One of my favorites. And they've got so much stuff that are straight out of the comics. I swear to God, some of those shots look straight out of one of my favorite Black Widow runs. When I was doing a lot of the comic book buying, and Phil Noto was doing a bunch of covers for a Black Widow run, some of those shots, to me, look straight up like Phil Noto artwork. And he wasn't just doing the covers. He was doing all the art in there. And Phil Noto, as far as comic book artist, love him. I actually have a Phil Noto picture of Kate Bishop. I had him do a picture of Kate Bishop at Comic-Con. I mean, it was just the Austin Comic-Con he was here for. I was like, I really want you to do some art for me. I love your art. And at the time, I was really into the Hawkeye book. They had a great Hawkeye book, and Kate Bishop was just killing it. So like, can you do Kate Bishop? It's right there, just off camera. Phil Noto, original Kate Bishop. Oh, anyway, love it. Right? I agree, Steven. Especially when you've got a good run. Pulling from comics is great. And it's like I was saying earlier, I think one of the reasons Marvel films have been able to be so successful is they've got 80 years of stories that they can pull the good parts out of and put together. Yeah, there's a lot of crap in those 80 years. There are some runs you're like, we're not gonna talk about that one. But there's always these little gems, and they can just pull these little gems and put them together in a way that works. And I think that's one of the reasons Marvel has been able to be successful with phases 1 through 4. And now with the stuff coming out now, again, they have this huge background of stuff that they can just dig in and mine for great stories and great character moments that they can put together. And when you've got an amazing artist like Phil Noto, like that last animation where you've got Black Widow walking down the X, that is fucking Phil Noto. I bet I could find a Black Widow book in my little collection down here, and you're going to see that exact same shot, because that is so freaking iconic for her. It's so great. Biscuit, movie coughing over movie popcorn with milk duds. I don't know when. I love going to a theater. Elizabeth and I would go to movies all the time. I'm not sure when I'm going to feel safe going back to a theater, to be honest. Again, if you saw the pictures from the Texas Rangers baseball game, because we have no restrictions here in Texas because we're in Texas. Stevie, you want to move to Canada? Let's take the family to Canada. I don't know. Anyway. Considering just how crazy things are, I think we're still quite a ways away from Elizabeth and I doing like a date night to go to a movie. Although our babysitter is fully vaccinated. So once we get our vaccinations, we may just say, hey, just come hang out for the day. We're going to go drive. Just to be like quiet for a while. Just a little quiet. You'll feel safe in 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, I feel you, Stephen. Yeah, we'll feel safe after about a month, 5 weeks, about 5 weeks. 2 weeks after I get my second dose, I will feel safe. And I am aware that 1 dose is pretty good, but that second dose, that's what I'm looking for. I agree, Stephen. We've already got our friends who have gotten their second dose, and we're just like, we want to hang out with you. They generally don't try to cram a decade worth of material into it. Yes, Biscuit. Sounds like maybe DC tried to do something like that. I don't know. That may be better. Long story short, there's been a lot of stuff making me happy today. Between all the trailers for the Marvel stuff, between Loki and Black Widow, super excited about those. And First Contact Day, seeing all the news coming out about the Star Trek stuff. Oh, man. Perfect. Perfection. Great stuff. I am going to get out of here. It's about 10 o'clock. So I think I'm going to get out of here. Unless you guys have something else you want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about any of the money stuff, my fake money. In case you didn't know, I was investing fake money to see if I could make fake money with a fake stock account thing. I'm not going to talk about it because I've had too much other stuff really making me happy. But waiting for Cthulhu to rise again and drive us into insanity. Are you sure it hasn't already happened? I don't know. Burnsy! Thank you for the cheer! Thank you, Burnsy. Appreciate you. One of my favorites was a DC Special 29. Batman, Green Lantern, and the Flash go to Britain as Germany's building a Superman to attack the U.S. They end up at a rally. All right. That sounds interesting. Found out it was real and is off to the Fed bin. Interesting. Set in 1940. So Cthulhu found out it was real? Is that what you're saying there, Biscuit? There's a part of me that feels like I should go back and start collecting comics again. Like, I haven't really done it for years now. Once me and Danny stopped doing the comic book show on a regular basis, which has been years now. I honestly can't remember how many years it's been. I want to say it's been 6 years. 6 years since I did the comic book show. But I was going in with my pulls every week, just getting a ton of stuff. Sometimes I want to dive back in. But I loved some of my runs so much, I'm nervous too. Because I love the X-Men run that I was following at the time. Yeah, I really loved it. Like, I loved what was going on. That's when I fell in love with Magic as a character, was on that X-Men run from like 5 or 6 years ago. I missed that show too, Dark. I think it was really well done. I will say, a lot of the shows that I was producing for other people at the time, I really enjoyed. And then when I started, like, wanting to do other stuff and everything, I had to let those go, and I miss them. I miss that show. I really miss the Adventures of Danny Danger. It's good stuff. But anyways, like, I wonder if I should dig back into the comic books like I was used to go. That was your first show watching the Weird... Wow! Your first Weirdling show was Danny Danger. Old school, man. Not as old school as Theater Nerd. Theater Nerd was Cell, the series. So that's something. A Weirdling, where are they now? VH1 style. Totally should. Danny's writing for Daily Dot. She does some writing and stuff like that. I think she mostly talks about sexual health. That's kind of her vibe right now. Her gig is talking about sexual health. I did get a message. They were casting for a comic book show. I wanted to talk to her about it, but I think she passed on it. I forwarded her the message. I was like, hey, they're doing a thing. You want to do it? And I think she passed on it. She wanted to focus on writing for the Dot. Steven, you watched Cell after all of these years. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have watched it when I made it, but wow. Good on ya. Good on ya. For those of you who don't know, Cell was the first thing I ever legitimately made outside of, like, the Battlestar Galactica fan film. And you can tell there are some spots that in retrospect be like, I would change that. I would change that. But man, it was great. I enjoyed the hell out of that. One of the best experiences of my life. Got to meet all my friends in LA through that thing. Got me a meeting at Imagine. Got to pitch some stuff to one of the executives at Imagine back in the day. So good times, man. Almost got another show picked up by a network, but then they decided to pass. And when I say not a broadcast network, an internet network, it was My Damn Channel was a YouTube network at the time. They made originals, and they were going to invest in a series from me, but then they changed their mind at the end. Every once in a while, I get a message about Cell from someone who watched it. And they'll be like I'll get a direct message from on Twitter. Someone will be like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I rewatched that again after all these years, and I still think the show's great." And again, it's not a perfect show, but it was a lot of fun to watch, or a lot of fun to make, and I made some of the best friends of my life on that one. So glad you finally got to watch it, Steven. If any of you want to watch it, check out my YouTube. It's only 13 episodes. But I mean, each episode's going to be 10 minutes long, so you got a few hours in you. And we had audio problems like crazy. You can tell there were some audio problems in there too. But the score was great. The composer actually really wanted to release that on CD because he loved the score for it. Yeah, I need to watch Dark Matter because there are some things that I need to watch. Our Switch controllers are busted, so I have to send them off. It's got I don't know if you guys heard about it, but the Switch controllers have that drift issue where basically it's just a random input that's not happening. So ours are doing that. I'll be trying to play Hollow Knight, and all of a sudden my little guy just starts running off the side of the screen. I'm like, I am not touching the controller. And of course he runs into something and dies, and I lose 10,000 geode. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. But submitted a request to Nintendo. I have to mail them the controllers, so I'm not going to be able to play Switch for a while. So I should watch Dark Matter. I don't think Elizabeth will want to watch it. She'll probably want to watch Blacklist or something like that, but I'm kind of curious how it happened. It was a good show. Dark Matter was a solid show. I'm curious what they continue to do with the next two series. Baylor's leading Gonzaga by 15. What? You were watching YouTube at 12? Well, of course you were. Everyone at 12 was watching YouTube when you were 12. But you wouldn't have watched Cell. Not when you were 12. You'd have been like, what is this shit? Maybe not when you were 12. You'd be like, what is this? I don't know. Buy some Pro controllers. It's a Switch Pro. Are there different controllers for the Switch Pro than a Switch Pro? What? I'm confused. Neutral Milk Hotel. First of all, High Proletarian. Neutral Milk Hotel. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up. Should I look it up? Is it going to scare me? Did you watch it when you were 12, though, Steven? Honestly? 73-56 Baylor. Wow. I did not expect Gonzaga to get crushed. Yeah, so I have the Pro controllers. Well, then I'm impressed, Steven. If you watched Cell when you were 12, good on you, sir. Good on you. I can't tell you. Dude, Head to Sports Fam, man, get the fuck down here and share some of Caden's birthday cake just for saying that. Yeah, no shit, Proletarian. I am old. Was that not clear when you showed up? Hello? Yeah. Clear. Come in wired or wireless. Well, I've been using them wireless, but I could plug in a USB to have them wired, but I just don't want them wired. I don't want them wired. Saying you had to support the fam. Dude, how many people, like, I can't tell you how many times I would go to, like, things and be like, so how's that web thing you're doing? I was like, have you watched it? Like, no. It's like, well, what the fuck? Not like that. It's a Thanksgiving. You're like, oh, well, if you get a chance, check it out. You like elderly people? Well, that's good, proletarian. I like everybody. Elderly, young, middle-aged, toddlers, whatever. We're all people. People who need people are the luckiest people. That's an old song. Anywho's. All right, y'all. Steven, we may be giving you a call. Don't be surprised. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it, see what's best. I figure you could probably help build a playset pretty good. It's a 100-page instruction manual with 10 pages of nothing. Why can't I say this? 10 pages of what the fuck do you call these things? Pieces, parts. God damn. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure you could help out. But I just don't know how many people we can have if Elizabeth's brother comes up. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I looked at the download or the instructions for it. Man. Like, it's going to take up the whole yard just laying out the pieces to make sure we've got all the pieces and they're not all broken. Thank you, Bernsey. Appreciate that. Appreciate you catching that. It is an IKEA puzzle with real wood and screws instead of those damn little Allen wrench things. Yeah, unfortunately, we're hoping we can get it done by his birthday this Saturday. So we're probably going to have to do it before then. I'm even nervous if Will comes up because he's not getting his shot until tomorrow, his second dose. His second dose until tomorrow. So I'm like, man, we're not even going to be at our 2 weeks until next week. We're only a week out. So I don't know. Man. We'll have to see. Unless he stays at a hotel and just comes. That would be rude for us to ask him to stay at a hotel. Of course, it'd be cheaper than hiring somebody. But did I watch Game of Thrones? Absolutely, I watched Game of Thrones. We loved Game of Thrones. I have Game of Thrones t-shirt. I have Game of Thrones magnets. Elizabeth read some of the books, but then she kind of fell off because the books were diverging so much from the show. She was kind of getting frustrated. Yeah, loved it. Younger people and children seem maybe safe. I know. It's hard to say. I don't know, man. Well, we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure it out. And I still have a bunch of phone calls out to people, assembly people, to see what their quotes are and if they'll do it. I'm hoping to hear back from them tomorrow. Try a few more things. See if we can get it done. One guy wouldn't be able to do it until mid-May, though. So we would totally miss his birthday then. I swear, we got this thing a month ago, so it would be ready by his birthday at the latest. It's been sitting in the backyard a month waiting for our assembly people to get it done. Jeez. 84-year-old mother got her first shot. I will say, the federal rollout of the vaccines here in the U.S., pretty impressive. The speed with which they have ramped up the vaccination, pretty impressive. Now, we're still way far away from where we need to be. Way far away. Us and herd immunity, we got a ways to go. And there's still a bunch of people who are refusing to take the vaccine. We got to get past all that. But, having said that, the rollout's been pretty good. You know, we got ours last week, and it was super fucking efficient. We signed up, showed up, said, yes, I've got an appointment. What's your name? Here you go. All right, here, go down there. It was all in the car. Didn't get out of the car. Shot. Mark something on the window with a little piece of paper that says how long you have to wait, and somebody else checks your car when they see it's time. They come up, how you feeling? Doing good? You're out. We'll call you in a few weeks to get your second dose. Awesome. Out. Emmys would have shown real courage if Jack Leeson had won. No. I don't think. First of all, I don't think that was an Emmy deserving performance. I'm not saying it was bad, but I think there were probably better performances. Jack Gleason in his turn in Game of Thrones, although he was very effective at being a complete and utter ass that everyone wanted to see die. But I don't think that was an Emmy-winning performance. Caden probably doesn't have best recognition of time. Oh, of course not. No, he has no idea. He has no idea. We've been telling him his birthday's coming up, and he's like, and every day is the same. I have been in this house for over a year. Every day is the same. What is this different thing? So yeah. So he wouldn't care. It's more us. It's more us. You know, his birthday at this age isn't for him. It's for us. It's for the family kind of thing. Did I get a vaccination selfie? I did not. I was in the car by myself. I was just driving. Nobody wants to see a selfie of me. Not enough white privilege? What do you mean, Bernsey? Who's not enough white privilege? You've confused me. Bernsey, thank you for the sub. Right. Although last year, because his birthday, his first birthday, was early in the lockdown, when everybody's like, oh, we're locked down. Now everyone's like, oh, we're locked down. Back then, it was really serious. So we did a Zoom birthday. We had the whole family on monitor. Steven, you were there, right? Whole family on monitor doing a smash cake over Zoom. Not enough white privilege for Joffrey to get an Emmy. There's enough white privilege, but he didn't deserve it. It was so awkward, right? It was super awkward because he wasn't really into cake. He's never had anything sweet before. So we give him this cake and he's like, what am I supposed to do with this? We're like, well, you smash your face and eat it because everybody says smash your cake and your birthday, cake and your birthday and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, really? Holy cow. Dragonfire is gifting subs all over the place. Dragonfire, thank you for the gifting of the subs. Who are you, Dragonfire? I love you, Dragonfire. It was fun. We had a good time with it. I mean, it would be nice to have a birthday when he can actually have family around. His 3-year-old birthday. We're going to be all over it, y'all. You're right, Steven. First birthday during quarantine is just weird. And technically, second birthday during... I know that they've lifted all the restrictions and everything, but we're still being careful. He's a little kid. I don't want him to get sick. And our vaccinations haven't fully hit yet, so we're still being careful. So his third birthday will be lit, y'all. As lit as a third birthday can be. Dragonfire, thanks so much. Longtime fan of the YouTube channel since Warren Scarlet. Old school. Dude, Dragonfire, thank you so much. Man, going back. Had someone suggest that I start rebroadcasting those old Warren Scarlet episodes on Twitch. Just kind of like run one of them on a Twitch stream. Thought about it. I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. I did see about Dark Adam, the Rock in the Dark Adam movie. I don't know much about it. That is a DC character I know nothing about. I'll have to learn some, but again, it's going to be in a year, so we'll have time to figure it out. Yeah, it really is nice, Dragonfire. After all these years, coming back and saying, that's awesome, man. I did? I'm trying to remember this, Dragon. It's been a long-ass time. Oh, my phone's dead. I can't look at my Instagram. Yeah, my phone died. Well, hopefully it helped. Hopefully it helped. the advice on filmmaking, that is. Hopefully it helped. COVID question. How is U.S. prioritizing poor and indigenous peoples? It's not based on your financial situation at all. And as far as indigenous peoples, they're getting vaccine doses to distribute just like other federal agencies. It's not a federal agency because indigenous, they're their own thing. But they are getting the vaccines to then distribute within the tribes based on their criteria. And I think that they're sticking to CDC recommended criteria. And what I've been hearing is that some of the tribes are doing amazing work getting their vaccinations out. But I don't think it's necessarily that these First Nations can get earlier than others. They're getting distributed just like everybody else, and then within that, the tribe will have their own. What am I saying here? Their own qualifications. Sure, we'll use that word. Their own qualifications for when you can get a dose. That's my understanding. Oh, there you go. Now, Stephen, you know this shit. Department of the Interior is dispensing the vaccinations. I knew you meant Black Adam. I didn't want to call you out on that, Burnsy. Criteria. Thank you. Thank you, Ethereal. Well, I'm glad it helped, Dragonfire. Definitely glad it helped. Stephen maybe work. Do you technically work for the Department of the Interior, Stephen? Is that who you're technically employed by? Forest Service. Okay. Lots of distrust in the gov. Well, can you blame him? Really? Can you blame him? I do hope that that's getting a little better. I was reading something the other day that there are a lot of tribes that are working really hard getting the word out that they need to get vaccinated because COVID has hit a lot of these tribes really, really hard as well. So I hope that that's getting a little bit better. I generally hope that this is getting better in general. Like the vaccine hesitancy, I hope is getting better. There have been enough people vaccinated. I mean, millions of people have been vaccinated at this point. Some of them have been fully vaccinated and have been vaccinated for weeks and weeks and weeks. Most negative side effects to vaccines happen within like the first, like, boom, here's your vaccine. Oh, shit, that happened. We're past that. So there should be a lot more faith and confidence in what's going on with the vaccine. I hope that continues to be the case, although there are still people who just refuse to get it. I don't understand, if I'm being honest. You met Zachary Levi? He seems like a really nice guy. Shazam. Which tribes are up there where you are, Stephen? Because I'm curious, we have a friend of ours, one of Elizabeth's co-workers lives up there, and I'm wondering if she's in one of those tribes. She gave Caden a Pocahontas book for his first birthday. Alabama Creek. I'm not sure if that's her tribe. Just slip the vaccine in Bud Light and boom, 6%, right? Although I did read something that they were working on an inhaled version of the vaccine. So you could just like get an inhaler and be like, boom, boom, done. I'm not sure what tribe she's with. Let me check that out. She's had a bunch of people. She's lost a bunch of people, family and friends, to COVID. Just seems to keep happening, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Love chatting with everybody. It's always fun, man. I legit love just kind of hanging out and talking to everybody. Dragonfire, thank you so much for the sub gifts you gave everybody over there. That's amazing, man. Seriously appreciate it, and glad that I was able to help. I'm really trying hard to remember that Insta conversation, but regardless of what it was, I'm glad that you found it helpful, and I hope that you're continuing to find it helpful. And you probably could give me some advice at this point if you've been continuing with it. So give me some, because I haven't shot anything in quite a while. Brother refused to get the flu virus. Her vaccine didn't either. Helped him plan Christmas. Start coughing. It's interesting. Before I leave, they're talking about the number of fatalities from flu this year are like virtually zero because of the mask wearing and social distancing. So anyone that tells you that masks don't work, show them the mortality rate of flu during this flu season. And let's continue that conversation. And then you can also extrapolate that to the relative severity of COVID compared to flu. We get into a lot of conversations, y'all. But just show them that. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll be back next week. We'll just kind of hang out again. I like hanging out. It's way easier than playing games because I can just sit and chat with everybody and talk and have a good time talking. Playing games, I gotta like focus. Oh, God, it's a lot of work. Ugh, so much work. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. You know, Bernsey, there was actually something that, just real quick, you said shootings disappeared during COVID. There have actually been more gun fatalities during the lockdown. If you look at the number of COVID or gun fatalities, it's interesting how it's actually gone up. I'm not sure why I didn't get to read the full article, but when you look at the fatalities from gun violence, it's actually gone up. It's weird. Now we're just seeing more of the mass shootings. Cool. Good night, all. We'll see you later. Steven, I might be contacting you later. We'll chat anyways. We're family. Yeah, look at that, Steven. Correct me if I'm wrong on it, but there was something I was reading and they were looking at it and they were like, it's weird. We expected to see that the fatalities to gun violence would decrease during this, but we're actually seeing an increase. It's actually kind of been worse this year. Yeah, but no mass shootings. Still shootings, but no mass shootings. That's a whole other conversation, y'all. Maybe for another day. Maybe not, because we've all talked about it. We've all had the conversations ad nauseum. Do we need to have it again? Probably not. Yeah, we'll see. I'm out of here. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.